One of the first things you'll need to do to ensure the machine is ready for use is to make sure that the main powder trough has a sufficient level of powder. You can do this either by opening a new bag of powder and pouring it in, or if you've already used the machine, powder will have collected in the powder collection troughs. You'll simply need to pull the one out that sits under the main trough, put it at an angle because you don't want the powder to pour everywhere, and use the corner of the trough to pour in your powder into the main trough. Then you can slide that back in. Once you've topped up the powder in the main powder trough, just use a small brush just to brush away any excess powder that's built up on the external of the machine. Another thing to do to ensure the system is ready for use is to ensure the take-up core and core holder are correctly attached to the machine. So the take-up bar comes with this cog surrounded and sandwiched by two discs on the right-hand side as you look at it at the take-up end of the machine. It also comes supplied with these two flange wheels, which will grip the inside of your core once it's on the bar. You want to put one of these flange wheels with the thumb screw facing the outside, and that wants to go on the machine, on the bar like so. And just tighten it up when it gets roughly close to the other end. And that will hold the flange wheel on the bar. Then you want to put your core on. Easiest way to do it is just pop it on the end. It's got a rubber stopper on the end of the bar, so you won't damage it by doing that. Push the core on so it's tight on that flange wheel, and then you put the other flange wheel on, again with the thumb screw side facing outwards, with the metal sections able to grip the inside of the core. And then tighten that up using the thumb screw. Now, when you put that onto the machine, just before you do, have a look on the right-hand side as you're looking at it at the take-up end of the machine. You'll notice inside you'll see a large cog and a small cog. The large cog on the take-up bar lines up and makes contact, or should line up and should make contact with the small cog. There's a little slot in the metalwork for you to slot that large cog through. Place it on, slot the large cog through the slot, make sure it makes contact with the smaller cog, and to ensure that that contact is sufficient, start turning the take-up. If the larger cog inside starts turning, you know that it's seated correctly. One important thing to note is while you're positioning the core on the bar, you want to position the core and the flange wheels so they're as central as they can be along that bar. Another quick tip to help you do that is using the thumb screws. Try and align the thumb screw on the right-hand side flange wheel with the thumb screw on the left-hand side flange wheel. The reason for that is so that when you put the take-up on the system, if you need to amend the position of the core, either moving left or right, both flange wheels are then facing you, and you can unscrew them both and tighten them at the same time. One final part of preparing the machine for use is to ensure that sufficient temperature has built up inside the oven to cure your prints. To turn the heat on, you use the heat icon in the bottom left corner of the main screen. When the icon is orange, that means that that function has been turned on. So, I've switched the machine on, I've turned heat on. Now, before I use the unit, I would like to leave this for around 20 to 30 minutes so that the ambient temperature inside the oven can build up to a sufficient temperature to cure your prints evenly.